All right, welcome. How are you all?
Good.
Good. Glad to see you guys here.
Good. Here goes my earbud. Let's see if it works.
I mean, I'm just hoping to see how all of this works. I'm just like, I haven't even done this in a while, so I'm nervous, excited, all the above. Hoping I'll be able to figure this all out. How's everybody's day been? You guys have a word that you could use to describe your day today?
Well, trying to remain positive, but it's been work is terrible. I hate it.
Darn it. Yeah. So rough day. Hopefully this class will help some of that. Turn
I
some of
hope
it
so.
around. I'm like, today I got my background. I'm like, haven't rocked my background. I'm like, where can I stand to see my background?
It looks good. You're doing good.
Thank you. I don't know if you guys could see, I don't know, do any of you guys know how to change your backgrounds on here? I want to see if like the setting on the Zoom worked, but I thought I uploaded like the normal background I use, like when I'm in my own meetings and stuff. So if you go to like the camera, there's usually like a caret or like the dots, and you can do choose virtual background. I want to know if it shows like the woman warrior's Zoom background or not. It'd be cool to see if it works. But I can if I log in, it's just mine. It's my stuff. Are either of you guys interested in checking it out for me? Can you figure it
I
out?
don't see an option for it.
Is there like a camera button on it? Or you're in there or you don't see the picture I'm talking about?
I'm in there, but I don't see the picture you're
And
talking
you
about. Like
scrolled
it
all the
says
way down.
none, blur, and add.
Ah, so not set up like I
Yeah.
thought it was gonna be. Dang. Oh well. That's okay. Maybe one day I'll figure cool things out like that. One day I'm gonna add it as like a VIP thing, like, oh, VIP, and you can get the free background for like the event. That'd be cool.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I don't want to keep waiting for too long. Whoever doesn't show gets to come in late. Okay. Let me see. Let me share. I made a little PowerPoint to get myself on track. Haha. Oh, that is how I don't want to be a cutout person.
It cuts off your awesome hat.
Can you guys see me doing this?
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
just I thought it was gonna be like normal. Okay, I'm just gonna hit share and see what happens. Can you see me?
Yes.
Yes.
Oh, you can. Okay. I can see you guys kind of like in this little box, but then it turns to me. I'm gonna move myself around on the screen. Oh, okay, it is showing what I'm doing. Okay. Well, welcome to this. Let's see, is it working? Oh,
Yes.
welcome to the live Women Warriors Masterclass. We haven't done this in a while, so I'm definitely, nervous, excited, shy, all the above and more. Oh, I wanted to see if there's a setting to in case if anybody sees people come to join. I don't even know if it will, but you let me know and I'll let them in. Share, optimize. I thought there was an option for it to beep. Maybe I should stop sharing. Hold on one second. Let me just double check that because if anyone joins, I won't know. I don't know how to do this. It's okay. We're gonna learn, right?
Yep.
I don't know. I know I've seen it somewhere once. Hmm. Okay, well, no big deal. I guess if anyone sees anyone hop in, let me know in case I don't want to miss letting people in, okay? Okay, we're
Okay.
gonna try the share again. It worked out the normal way, so we'll just do that. Share this one. Okay, share. Okay, we are in here. Okay, yay. Okay, so welcome. My face is in the way. Welcome. So if you're here, if you want to drop a hashtag team live because you're live with me, or if you are a replay, please type in team replay. I'm excited. I want it to be interactive. So please go ahead and, put that in there.
I
So
don't even know if I
today,
did it.
huh?
This is my first time ever on Zoom, so I don't even know how to do any of this.
Oh,
I'm
okay.
getting
Well,
there. Okay.
at the
No
bottom,
worries.
like there's usually like a little chat feature, so feel free to use chat as we go. It's always a little different on the phone too. It's like a little bit like, oh, okay. So, all right. So I'm excited to teach you guys here today about going beyond limiting beliefs and cultivating self-love and joyful living. I got 3 steps for you guys today, although some of the steps are kind of long, but that's okay. Hope you guys have something to take notes with. Um, let's see. Yay. Hashtag live. Yay. Thanks, Elba. Love for
Yeah.
you to play along. Woohoo. Oh, someone's coming in. Welcome, welcome. We're just getting started. You
How
guys,
many people are on here right now?
I think I think so far it's 4 of us. So welcome. I think I'm one of the 4. Yay. Hashtag team live, hashtag team replay, wherever you're joining in from. I'm excited. If you want to share how your day was, throw a word down in the comments. So I'm going to go over 3 steps today, okay? I'm going to repeat myself a lot, so just it's fine. Part of it's nerves and part of it's just the way it goes. Okay. So let me know if you guys can relate. Have you ever been stuck in relentless cycles of negative thoughts? Yeah.
Mhm.
Yes. Type yes or say yes in the comments, whichever you're most comfortable with. All right. Can you guys see this chat box if I leave it up? Can you see that I have a chat box up?
Yes.
You can see it. Okay, well then we're gonna minimize that. Okay.
Oh, no. Sorry. No.
Oh
I
no,
have to
you
like
can't
go
see
to
it.
the chat
Okay,
to
cool.
see it.
That's good to know so I can look at that as we go, because I don't know. Woohoo! All right. And then let's see, next question. Can you relate? Are you tired of feeling stuck in the negative spiraling thoughts? Say yes in the comments if you are. Or you can say it in person too, whatever you prefer. Yes.
Yes.
Right? We're gonna just be here live. We get to do this the way we want. All right, last question. Who wants to learn how to break the negative cycles and is ready to reclaim your power in life? Say me if that's you.
Me.
Me.
I know, me too. It's always an ongoing battle, I feel like. Well, before we get started, want to remind you guys for the attendance bonus. If you're here, if you're watching the replay, it's not too late if you send me a message after this. If you didn't already get the bonus unlocked training and worksheet, you can still get that for watching the replay and attending here. So let me know and I will get that out to you just as a thank you and an added bonus for attending live or watching the replay. Hashtag replay team and team live. Because, all of us together make the world go round.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Woohoo! All right. Let's see. All right. So quick rules of engagement. This is for you. So if you can, be here, be present. Take some notes. If you grab your journal, grab a pen, grab some paper. If you don't have that, I suggest you grab some now because we got a lot of information to cover. It's going to be awesome. This is going to be interactive. Use the chat, use the emojis. If you want to feel free to speak. I want this to be a safe zone for everyone. And of course, there's going to be time to share. So please share your insights, your experiences. Everybody's story is so valuable. And I think everybody brings their own thing to the table. So go ahead and do that. I do want this to be a safe space. So, of course, we want to be respectful of each other, support each other. And the most important, have fun because I'm so excited to be here with you guys. And, it's just an exciting new journey here. So we're just going to keep moving along. So quickly, my story, for those of you that don't know me, my name is Tania Manuel, and I am breaking out of my own negative cycles by being here with you. Welcome, welcome. I'm here breaking negative cycles. This is not where I started. When I first started, I was trapped in all sorts of negative cycles, right? Toxic relationships, like some of the closest people around me were just so toxic. Don't worry, I've been letting them go very slowly, even like a few weeks ago. I was constantly depressed, like feeling in despair. I'm gonna move my little body here, my little window here. Had anxiety. I felt like I was neglecting myself. I did not take care of myself, like self-love, I think that's something coming up next, but like, what was that? I definitely have had my own suicidal idealizations for several times over the years, and including like self-harming, especially like as a young teenager, and just as a throw out, there's always a suicide and crisis lifeline. Like, I am not that person for you. Of course I'm happy to be there, but if you are ever there, got to throw in the plug, right? There are resources for that. But that's a little bit where I started, when I first started my journey, like it was the same exact story day in and day out, my same problems I would talk about all day long. And it was just like this never ending negative cycle. And that's the question, like, what is self-love? Like at that time, I knew nothing of self-love. Like I said, I was neglecting myself. I didn't take care of myself. And it was just broken. It felt like I was broken. I then realized that the self-love was the key, right? I stopped taking care of myself. And so I really needed to focus on how to take care of myself, how to love myself so I could break free from those negative cycles that I was experiencing in my life. Let's see. So the slow transformation to reclaim my power has taken a while, but here we are. We are live. We are doing this. We are trying to, you know, make this a thing, and hopefully some of you will all also join me on the journey to inspire self-love in your own lives, because I think it's so important. Of course, especially for me, my story, right, is it started with my mind. Like, I was trapped, just spiraling and spiraling. Finally, I was able to find some peace, which was great. Like, once you're able to kind of break free from the peace, you find some freedom when you start finding peace. And after you're able to find freedom, you can find some joy in your life. Because when you're stuck in limiting beliefs, there is no joy. I mean, at least I don't know how you guys feel, but I had very little joy when I was stuck in my chaos. Um, like I said, I was feeling a lot of depression, anxiety, frustrations, resentments, all sorts of negative feelings. So that is definitely something that I didn't really love to have. Oops. Sorry, I think I just asked someone to unmute my bed. I'm gonna mute you guys for while we're just chatting here. Okay, but if you want to say something, feel free to unmute yourselves, okay? Okay, we're gonna keep moving along here. So we're gonna move into some steps here on what we're talking about. So, like, what are the negative spiraling thoughts normal? I know for me, I didn't think that they were. I kind of just thought that there were, well, I guess in some ways I didn't think they were, and I did think they were. Like, I didn't know that not everybody had that kind of thing where it's just like something happens and then you're thinking about it today, and then you're thinking about it tomorrow, and then the next day you're thinking about it. Or, somebody said something and it reminded you of that one time that it happened a day before. So I don't know if any of you guys can relate. If you can, say something in the comments like, I relate. Um, because yeah, definitely was a thing for me. So turns out about 70% of the average human's thoughts are negative. So we don't have to feel ashamed for having these negative thoughts about ourselves or about the circumstances in our lives. And that's why the first step is always becoming aware of them. I'm sure some of you guys know, some of you probably have noticed that, right? Because if not, you might not be here because, I want to congratulate you. Thank you for being here. Like, it's a big step to just say, hey, yeah, I want to learn about this, because sometimes, like, for me, I was ashamed. I didn't talk about it. I didn't let anybody really know. I mean, I guess the people that I talk to about things all the time, right? That same story, they knew, but they were also toxic too. So they kind of just fed the toxic flame and then toxic negative cycle. So let's see here. So we're going to talk about the negative cycle, because this is one of the negative cycles, right? Because it really can start with everything, but we're focusing on limiting beliefs and thoughts today. So what I'm going to teach about this negative cycle today is about the negative thought is like the number one starting point, right? So we have this negative thought, and then for me, and I think for most of us, it leads to some sort of low self-esteem. Don't feel good about who we are. We don't feel good about our actions. We don't feel good about what's happening. And so then we end up with this poor behavior, poor thought, a poor choice, right? And after we have a poor thought, we end up with terrible results, whether that's my mind results, my lack of action, my afraid to be my authentic self. You know, I don't know if any of you are familiar with this cycle. If you are, go ahead and type or say, I am, because I know I was, this was my cycle. I was in it and I was in it and this was it. I was just like repeating the cycle. Um, yeah, you know, yeah. Oh yeah, says Elba. Yep. You guys are relating with me. I feel it. It was definitely this cycle that just continues on, right? So not only, yes, vicious cycle, says Christy. Yep. It is a vicious cycle, and it's just like you got to figure out when you're gonna hop off of that cycle, right? Oh, Charlotte, off and on all the time. Yes, and that's exactly how I felt too. It was like, oh, I would kind of like feel like I'm out of it, and then the next day, right, something happened. And it's normal in some ways, right? But the best part is that we don't have to just stay in this cycle. We can also start the next thing that I like to talk about thing number 2 is that it's possible to take the negative and turn it into a positive. You know, obviously not everything's great, but we're going to talk from here about the growth loop. We talked about being aware. So it starts with the desire to break free from that negative cycle and start entering the growth loop. So, you know, cycles and loops, like I think it's kind of fun, right? So, step 1, we become aware. And then we have to accept where we are. You know, I don't know about you guys, but I know for me, when I first started my journey, it was a very big, like, I had been running away from so many things in my life. I literally just did not stop to actually think about things. I didn't stop to actually reflect on things. I didn't actually stop to be like, hey, like, these are really bad behaviors that I don't appreciate myself doing. These are things that go against my values. Like, what was my values? I don't know. Um, you know, like I didn't know what I wanted. I just thought what I was in was what I was gonna have forever. And that was just like part of my life. And I thought, like, oh, I'm gonna be stuck negatively depressed, anxious, and resentful for like the rest of my life. Like, this is what I really thought it was gonna be like. But then I accepted where I was. And then I started to nurture myself. I started to take care of myself. I started to learn to cultivate self love, you know. And with the nurturing, there was a lot of things that came that were involved with that, right? Like I joined groups like this where I learned methods, strategies, just different things like this to help me grow, which is the next step when we hit growth, right? We break free and it starts through, and then we are in the growth cycle, and then we just repeat it because the realistic part is 70% of our thoughts are negative as humans, like the average human. I don't know about you guys, but I feel like that's a lot. Anybody else? Anybody else there? I don't know. Tell me if you guys get that. I mean, I sometimes I'm so surprised to hear like 70% of our thoughts? Really? Which that's kind of like a lot of our thoughts, isn't it? Yes. Boss iPhone, that's a lot. Kirsty, totally. Yes, it's a lot. And I know when I first started thinking of all this and learning about this, it was like I was probably in those negative thoughts very easily, like 95% of the time. Like I don't even know if I think I fronted being happy at small events or things like out with normal people, but like at home, like in my day to day, I was like secretly dying inside. Um, and yeah, I don't know if you guys can relate to that too, but like, yeah, there was a lot of resentment and inside difficulties. But the growth loop, I definitely prefer to try to live in the growth loop and remember because the negative cycle comes up and because it's 70% of the average human's life thoughts, like daily, that's okay, right? We just become aware. And once we become aware and accept the thoughts that we're having, then we can start to nurture ourselves. I don't know if you guys can see my mouse. I'm over here like using my mouse. Maybe I should use my hand, right? We start with the awareness and then we move into accepting, nurturing, and growing all over again. And I think that's one of the biggest factors when you begin the journey to self-love is to not look back at the negative cycle as a difficult, like how could I have ever been there? How could I have done that? It's like we didn't know any better, right? Like when you don't know, you just don't know. So why tear ourselves down? Like we are now here trying to plant the seeds of what it's like to be in the growth loop. We want to take care of ourselves and learn to love ourselves and forgive our past self for just doing the best that we could. I know for me, it was very much like I didn't know that I was in the toxic cycle for a very long time. I mean, I gotta lie to you guys. Like, it was like a long 7, 14, 15, like a long time, right? It was always in those cycles on and off, like somebody else said in the chat. Like Charlotte mentioned, it's like we are in it and then we're out of it and then we're in it and then we're out of it. But that's okay because that's part of the growth loop. So that's positive. We're making progress forward. The last thing that I kind of want to teach as a stepping point here is the model to life. And I'm not going to lie, my slides are going to get a little quick here because it's just going to be a lot of information, but we're going to walk through it real quick, okay? So this is, look, it turned pink. I thought it wasn't going to be pink. Okay, guys, it's fine. I'm learning how to do this stuff too, okay? So this is going to be like can you guys see my mouse? I don't know if you guys can see my mouse. Can you guys say yes? If you can see my mouse on the screen, just so I know which way I'm leading you guys. There's already a yes in there, but I don't think that was for me. Can you guys see the mouse? If I move it around? I can see it. Okay, perfect. Thanks. Thanks, Boss iPhone. I appreciate your help. So we're going to start with this. I did not get to break it out like I wanted to, but it is okay. It's all here. And we are going to start from the top. So we're going to start over here. So this is the acronym that I want you guys to write down or jot down so you remember it. But we're going to go CTFAR. Okay, they all have their own letters. And this is like a great model to use. And it relates to everything in our life. And I have an extra S in my PowerPoint, but that's fine. We're human. I make mistakes. So CTFAR, the C stands for circumstance, okay? The T stands for thoughts, F is for feelings, A is for actions, and R is for results. So everything in life can be tracked back into this model. I know it sounds like a very big, bold, and I hope some of you guys are going to be willing to share with me. We can walk through a model together and just to kind of experience it and have some, this kind of Q&A time coming up. So real quick, guys. So if you want to be daring and share, appreciate your thoughts. I'm going back. Okay, here we go. Nope. Now we're moving all over the place. It's fine. Let's figure this out. All right. So circumstances. So the circumstances, let me move my little face here. I can't, there's a good spot for myself here. Can you guys see what's going on? It's fine if you can't see me. So circumstances is when we think about the facts of whatever is going on. And then we have the thoughts, which I see I have again, thoughts. That one's kind of relatable. Like it's like that one sentence in your mind that comes up, right? Because like that's what happens is we have like this one thought and then like that one thought becomes the next thing, which is a feeling, right? And like what are the feelings? Well, I like to break down feelings as like our vibration or sensation or like the emotions that we have because of the thoughts that we're experiencing. And depending on how our feeling is, what our vibration is, the emotion that's been charged by our thoughts due to the circumstances is based on the action that we take, right? This whole slide got a little thrown off, but it's fine. And our actions, I'm sure it sounds like what it is, right? It's what we do in our life, or what we don't do. So based off of our actions, we end up with results, right? And the results, of course, is like the outcome, right? So what is it that we are experiencing in life? So of course, I like to share my journey where I was at. So I began, my circumstance was I really was in a very toxic relationship when I started. And so those were the facts. It was toxic. And my thoughts were always very negative about it. Like feelings of unworthiness, I wasn't enough, I just didn't, those are the thoughts that just like, is this ever going to change? And so the feelings that I had from those thoughts were always depressed, unworthy, unloved, unable to feel very happy. And so I would, because I didn't really love myself and I didn't value myself, what I did was nothing. I stayed. I stayed, which resulted in a toxic relationship that just progressively got worse and worse and worse. Unfortunately for me, it came down to like a domestic violence situation in the evening one night after some normal life occurrences that would have gone down. And then it became not normal. And so that was kind of what really like projected me out of that, right? Like that was like a hard no for me. Like, Tanya, something's got to change. Like, the circumstance now is not good. Like, domestic violence is a fact. And the thought for me was like, I'm out. And the sensation was like, fear for my life. So my action was like, you got to go. And it resulted to like a break of like a little bit of a break free moment. Now for me in that specific situation, I still tried longer because like I still hadn't really found enough self-love, self-worth and self-value to believe that I deserved more than that. But of course, I did, just like how you do. So if any of you guys relate or have your own thing that you guys want to go through this model, please let me know soon. And with this model, it's interesting because we can always tie, there's this little arrow on the other side here. Let's see, where's the arrow? This apparently it starts with pink. I did not mean it to be pink, but it's fine. This pink line is connected to the black line, okay? Don't let it fool you. So this results tab here, offshoot, is always part of the thoughts. Like it matches up in almost any situation. So let's see, let's do another little work through before anybody wants to share, we can share, because I thought I was gonna break out these slides. Oh look, it turned pink. Yeah, well, another pink one. Okay. Get a chance to do that all the way. But another circumstance that is like an easy relatable one is like, okay, circumstance, I have a lot of laundry. Like that's a fact, right? And sometimes, I mean, I'll relate. Sometimes I'm working this same model myself for the laundry because like, I don't know about you guys, but laundry is not my favorite chore in the world. I don't know if you guys can relate to loving laundry. You can even put love laundry or not my fave. Just let's keep you guys here, you know? And so sometimes with I hate it too, yeah. It's just never ending either. It's its own vicious cycle. I know, I'm crazy. Okay. So the circumstance is we have a lot of laundry. I have a lot of laundry. That's a fact. And sometimes my thoughts behind the laundry is I don't want to do the laundry. It's so much laundry, right? So then the vibration sensation that I get is like avoidance. Like I want to avoid it, which they do say that avoiding or running away is like among the top reactions, feelings, right? Like interactions based off of not wanting to do something. So that's the action, right? I avoid it. And then the result is I have more laundry, right? So my result, if I go with like, oh, if I don't do the action of doing the laundry, then the result is I have a lot of laundry, which matches up with the thoughts. Does that make sense? You guys following me along here? Say I get it. You guys getting it? And now I'm doing, okay-ish at explaining that. it's a deep process here, okay? Yes, I do that with chores. Okay, yes, Charlotte, yes. It is a chore thing. It's really like an anything thing, right? Like we like this is the key part that comes next. Is I feel like myself, sometimes I didn't really get taught this. I don't know when we do or don't get taught this, but a lot of times we get told or taught that we don't have control of our thoughts. Have you guys ever heard that or thought of that? Like, oh, well, it's just a thought. Like, it just comes. Like, it's just what it is. Anybody feel like they were kind of raised or grew up to think like, I can't control my thoughts. Like, we're just going to have these random things. Let's see. Charlotte saying, if my mood is down, I have a hard time getting motivated to do things. Yep. Elba says, heck yeah. Boss babe, you know where I was going with this. Yes, but we can. That's right. Our thoughts is definitely something that we can learn to control, right? It is something that we have to really focus on because, like I said, 70% of the average human thoughts are negative. like that's a lot. But when we can build our own toolbox and learn that we have all these different tools available to us, then we're able to start learning to control our thoughts. And like Charlotte, I think it was Charlotte earlier mentioned, right? Like it's an on and off again. Sometimes we're in that negative cycle more, and sometimes we're in the growth loop more. It just kind of depends on how often you're practicing or using these tools or learning tools or filling your mind up with positive thoughts, right? All right. So I don't know if anybody, I don't think I have, yeah, I don't have another slide after this. So we can start the Q&A time. I was going to make a Q&A slide and I totally forgot to. So those are the three big things I wanted to teach you guys today on how we can learn to do that, right? So I guess we could work another one. I don't know if anybody wants to join in and work something from their own life through this. If they want to throw in a circumstance or a thought or a feeling, and then we can, you know, work it through here. See if I can come up. Maybe I'll do a self-love related one before we move on while you guys think about it. So self-love, right? Let's see here. The circumstance was oh, Trudy, somebody's joining. Hello, welcome. And we're catching us at the end of the steps here, but I guess I can go through them again real quick too. As a recap, I'll do that. I'll do the recap before we go back into there. Just because that's what it is. It's the thing. So we're going over the negative thoughts, right? So we are in this negative spiral. Like, are they normal? Which we decided 70% of the average human. Well, we didn't decide, this is like facts. Like some doctor was, I don't remember the doctor's name, but there was doctors that were talking about. I was like, wow, that's a really big one. I'm gonna keep that thought. So our negative cycles start with our negative thoughts, which kind of usually lead to a low self-esteem, to a poor behavior, choice, thought, or action. And then we end up with these terrible results, right? So when we have all these negative results, we sometimes don't do what we want to do. But that's why we're talking about how we can grow from this, right? We become aware with the desire to change. We accept that where we are, not necessarily that we accept that, like, oh, this is what it's always going to be like, but we accept that we've been in this negative cycle. And then we start to nurture our minds, ourselves, and take care of ourselves more so that we can grow again through what it is that we're going through, right? I know for me, if I'm not growing, I feel like I'm dying. So back to the model here, our circumstances lead to our thoughts, which affect our feelings, which of course lead to the actions that we do or do not take to get the outcome by the results that we're having. And our results are always tied directly to our thoughts. So I wanted to come up with a circumstance for my self-love situation, and I'm going to try and shift away from my toxic ex because that's always like that was like what led me here, guys. Like I was just ready to like kind of maybe cut the cord a little bit here on things, and thankfully we did not do that. We are here instead, right? Whoop whoop, that's a win. Hashtag win. I don't know if anybody of you guys know I've ever been that far down the hole. Okay, good. We can do it. Let's see here. So my thoughts were always negative about myself. Like I deserve to be in this shitty situation. That was like the thought that I had, right? And of course, and of course, the circumstance was I wasn't, like, the fact that I'm going to choose which is I was not loving myself. Like I abandoned myself, I neglected myself. Those are the facts. So when I was having these thoughts of like I'm not lovable, like I'm unworthy, like I deserve to have all these things, the feelings that I was experiencing most often than not were feelings of low vibration, right? Like I was sad, I was depressed, I was anxious. And because I was always anxious, sad, depressed, I would often eat a lot. I would emotionally eat a lot. I would not take my power back. I would just kind of coast through life And the results were those thoughts, right? Like I'm unworthy, like my results were like I am not loved, like I did not love myself. Um, and so I had to change that, right? I started changing my thoughts from like I am worth it, like I can do this, like I ended up, separating, like I said, and then I got to have the fact that like I'm now alone again. So now I have to learn to take care of myself again and figure out how to heal my mind so that I could start experiencing more joy and have more loving feelings for myself. So those were the actions that I did, right? Like I joined groups like this. I practiced mantras every single day. I'd look at myself in the mirror and be like, Tanya, you are worthy. You are loved. You matter. Like I am loved. Like I receive love from like the creator. Like I don't need no man to love me. Like I am loved. Thank you. Hallelujah for giving me some love, creator. Like the universe loves me. And like that was just like the action. Like every day I would say certain things like this. And then finally the results came back around and we're like, oh, I am starting to love myself. I believe I'm more worthy of this. Like I can become more than stuck in sadness and depression and resentment and frustration, right? So here we are. Now we're back to the circumstance of like, we're here. Hi, welcome. Love you all for being here. And that me being here is literally the result of all of this. So exciting. Let's see here. Let's enter some Q&A. It looks like we got some people that are willing to participate. Looks like you dropped it in the chat, so I'm gonna read it, okay? Elba says, I had been going through a really tough time, which led me to believe that I wasn't good enough within my job, my relationships, my family, etc. Until I started your class. It was super hard for me to snap out of these negative thoughts and switch them to positive ones. I was doing my best, and I am good enough. So I still fall back sometimes, but just like a lot of things, it just takes practice. Yes, 100% I agree. And that's kind of what I was saying, right? And we were all relating. Like, can anybody relate to that? Put on there, like, me too, girl. Like, comment, give it a little heart, Me too. Me too, me too. And I'm right there with you. Like, this journey is like a never ending journey, right? Let's see, boss iPhone, same. It's a craft to master. Exactly. It so totally is. And I think that's why I want to, like, that's a big reason why I want to make this like now, right? Like, now the results of me going through that pain and that trauma that I went through and getting to where I am here is I want to help unite you women warriors, right? I want us to all remember like we're not on this journey alone. Like this is something that it's going to take time. And I don't know about you guys, but it feels good, doesn't it? Type feels good to know that like I'm not alone on the journey, like that we do all have our own struggles, whether it's something that sounds similar, it's always different. It's very unique to all of us, just like how we were all very uniquely created. I'm gonna take a sip of water here. Would anybody else like to share anything here or have any questions? You guys can unmute yourself and ask a question if you want to do like kind of like a hot seat. We can kind of go through this together with the circumstance, or you can type it in the chat if you'd like. Anybody want to play? Who wants to get vulnerable?
All right, I can. Just
All right,
because I'm on my phone and texting it will take much longer.
sounds
But
great.
yes, just going through a lot of going through depression and negative thoughts and not being worthy enough brought me down into a horrible cycle of like, yes, always trying to soothe that discomfort and doubts and lack of self-worth and love. And it is a vicious cycle, but it can also continue on to drag you down further, further, further. And now I'm in a spot where I just feel like it's survival. And I know, like, I've done self-help books, I've done some programs, and I know I'm stuck, right? And it is harder to get unstuck. And I've tried to help other people. My friend's little, or my son's little friend, who he's, almost suicidal at some point, but you are the only one that can make the changes, and you have to be aware of that, and you have to desire that, and you have to act. So, like, I can think about it all the time. I know what I need to do. And I dared him, like, go tell yourself in the mirror. And I was telling him to do things that I can't do myself, and I know I need to do it. In the morning, I wake up and I'm just dreading it already in the morning. I know it's going to be a horrible day. I know that I hate where I am in life. And already that's a negative thought. And I know I need to turn that around. The acting part of it is the harder part. And so I think that's the part of the self love. You love yourself enough that you have to act on it. And that's where I'm stuck. And things that I could do to turn it around. And it is hard. It is so very difficult, and it is very hard. And I am so proud of you for you turning it around and getting a handle on that, and loving yourself enough and being aware enough and acting on that, and then helping us through too. But that's where I'm at. I
Yeah,
got to act and make it happen. So every morning I got to dare myself, you're worth it. Yeah. But at that
right,
time, I'm trying to get coffee and get going.
right. Well, okay. So which action? I feel like we could break this down a little further if you're okay to play a little bit. We got 15 minutes left, but we could do a little bit more work here. So I feel like, tell me if you feel like you said actions. I feel like we should start with there. Is that okay if we
Hmm.
work this together? So you wake
Yeah.
up and you have the negative feelings, right? Or the thoughts
Hmm.
because of the feelings, right? And circumstances. We wake up, it's fresh, right?
Yep.
So what do you currently do as an action, like in the morning when like all this is happening? You mentioned coffee.
Right. I wake up and I get coffee and I'm like dreading, and I get signed on and ready to work.
Okay.
Really
And do you work from
taking my
home?
thought. I do.
Okay.
And I think the better thing would be I need to force myself to get up earlier. I need to force myself to take 5 minutes in there to say positive things to myself and make a plan of how I'm going to make the day better, right? Like, only I can do that. I can sit and dread it, and it's going to make it worse.
It's true.
But that's what I need to do, is to actually force myself to change habits. And that's the only way I'm going to be able to make these um, over, to overcome these negative thoughts, is change the habit. And it takes, they say, like, what, 3 weeks or whatever to change a habit.
Yeah, usually at least like 21 days to 60 days, kind of depends on every person. I feel like I was like on like the 60-day mark or more.
Right? Me too. I'm like years, Mark. But I mean, realistically, I know I've got to do these things. So really, I should take that extra time in the morning, even though I'd rather sleep. I'd rather start the day off good. And so get up early, um, take that time to go in and tell myself. And that's hard to do, like sit there and look at yourself in the mirror.
Yeah, it can be hard. And you
That's
know,
the hard part.
one of the things for me too, I'm going to share that I did because I so relate to that. At first, it wasn't always like a talk to myself in the mirror person. And I don't know about you, but I'm like I mean, I don't know. I have like my inspire sign over here, and I have this like other nice thing. It says she is kind, strong, vibrant, and unstoppable. Like this one's nice because it looks like pretty, and this one's nice too because it's like pretty. It's like actually artwork. But
Hmm.
like no joke, I have like a piece of paper, like it's kind of like a little poster almost, like pinned to like next to my mirror. And I don't know how like if you guys have space or time, but like I did that. I wrote out my I am statements because they say that the most powerful thing, right, is like I am. And it goes both ways. So if we're saying I am unworthy, like we feel that like to our like core, you know, but if you switch and say I am worthy, like it is ingrained further. So that's one thing I would recommend because then that way when you're brushing your teeth, you're seeing it. And then you have at least
Hmm.
sometimes I don't know for you guys, but like for me, sometimes that's how it started. I'd brush my teeth and I'd see it and I'd be like, oh. and I'd finish brushing my teeth and be like, okay, I am loved. I do this. I am strong, right? Um,
Mm-hmm.
and then I was asking if you drive too, because I don't know if you listen to stuff or if you're able to listen to things like during your work day, because I'm not exactly sure what you do anymore. It's always, Um, but and maybe if you do wake up earlier, this could be something you consider adding in, or any of you guys could. But like, I couldn't even have positive affirmations come out of my mouth at the beginning. So I would actually look up like motivational speeches or motivational like snips. And they have really short ones now too, because of YouTube Shorts. But I would just like type in there like motivation or self-love, like love myself more, like talk, things like that. And I would just listen to things. Evan Carmichael, he's one of my mentors, and he has a great thing because his thing is to believe. Like you have to believe in yourself. You have to believe that you're worthy, that you're capable. And so he does these like amazing interviews and like bullet points, like all these famous people, like celebrities and like actors and like entrepreneurs. And he shares about like their biggest points and to kind of help you relate and like believe, right? Like he touches the big things on there. And those ones are kind of lengthy. He usually does like an hour long videos, but like you can find shorter ones. And sometimes, like if you struggle actually speaking to yourself in the mirror, like I would recommend maybe even starting there, because that's an
Mm-hmm.
action that like doesn't really, it's like you just have to do it, like just play, like you search and play. Um,
Mm-hmm.
and like that kind of, it like sometimes when you hear people's stories that have gone through really crappy times, it's like, oh, like I could do that. Like, yeah, you're right. I am worthy because, like, these speakers are way better than, no, no, no. Mm-mm. These speakers have gone through their challenges and they are doing what they do now because they've done what we are doing now. They've gone through their CTFAR and their own frameworks and their own beliefs. And I was about to say something negative about myself, and I stopped myself. I have
Good.
to do this. We could be here and share.
That's awesome.
Um, so I'd love to hear. I'd love
Meeting.
to. I'm gonna check in on you and ask you. Maybe I could send you some videos in the morning because I've been wanting to kind of pick that up. I kind of slacked on that for a little while. Um, and like I have my own morning routine too. Like if couldn't we all wake up a little bit earlier? Shoot, girl, you're not alone on that one. But
Oh,
I got this like daily fire that I listen to. Like that's the first thing I do. Like I wake up and like I do a quick prayer. Thank you, I'm here. I woke up today. And then like I go and like use the bathroom, brush my teeth, do all that stuff, take a shower, and like listen to the daily fire. Like I fill my mind up before my brain gets to start spiraling on those negative thoughts. I'm like, give me some good soil. Give me some vitamins for my brain. That way I
mm-hmm.
don't allow those negative feelings to come in as fast. At first, of
Mm.
course, it was like, oh, like I should go do this, like, because then your mind just goes, right? But like, it's a game changer, Kirsty. I would try it out. I think that would be,
Okay.
yeah. I'll start sending you videos, okay? And then you can tell
I'll
me
do that.
tell me your feedback. What time do you wake up? What time are you like away and up for work?
It used to be like 6:45 and I'd have to be online at 7. Now it's 8:30, but I love my sleep so much. I'm like 8:15. I have like 20 snooze buttons. I got
Yeah,
to get rid
girl.
of the snooze buttons, number one, and hit
Yeah.
that 8 a.m. right off the bat. That's not so bad.
Yeah, I mean, like, I don't know. My brain's still sleeping. I'm still like, I have to applaud you to be able to like bounce into work mode. Like, I still want to wake up earlier. I'm supposed to be to work at like 8:30ish, before 9.
Hmm.
And like I wake up, I've been pushing my alarms too, and I wake up at 6ish. But I really want to like wake up at like 4:30. I know that sounds so crazy, but like I used to do a little bit better in my morning routine. Like I want to like pray more. I want to meditate. I want to do some reading. And
Hmm.
like those things are just it's just so good to like meditate and do so good thing and like fill yourself up. Let's see, there's some comments coming in. Let's see here. I hear something about going outside in the morning and getting fresh air clears your mind and sets a positive tone for the day. Yeah, I was gonna recommend that too. I know for
I
me,
love that.
yeah, I work from home sometimes too. And that's one thing I like to do. Like I try to like pretend like I'm taking a drive. Like sometimes I take my daughter to daycare still, so that's nice because then I leave and then I come back. So it's almost like a work commute, you know? But like, yeah, you
Hmm.
could take a walk. Like I don't know how big your block is. The weather's getting nice. Like go out, take a quick stroll. It's kind of like, oh, I'm coming into work.
Yeah, that's right. Change the routine up as well.
Yeah, and then in the morning it's so nice because like all the birds are chirping and it's just so beautiful in the morning. Like it's fresh and crisp. Yeah, it's a great tip. Thank you, Boss iPhone. I'm pretty sure I know who that is, but we'll keep you on your Boss iPhone vibe. I like it.
I've been trying to take my dogs out for walks in the morning just to get their energy out. So I make that a reason until I can make it a habit,
Yeah,
but it helps.
Hmm, a good idea. Good action there.
yeah. And that's the thing, right? You have to find what works for you. Because don't you have pets? You have a pet or two, right?
Oh,
Ours
yeah.
have passed away now. Yeah,
Oh, sorry.
that's okay. We have our neighbors' pets.
Yeah, yeah. It's a lot of commitment to get another one, but you know, whenever you're ready, that's always an option.
Yeah, true. That's true. A lot of them need them.
Right? Awesome.
I
Well,
have
I was in my
6. You
own
want
place,
one?
I'd probably, yeah, if I was in my own place, I'd probably have like 50. No.
I know people like that too.
Hmm. I was that once before, but yeah,
Yeah,
that
fun.
was a different time, different rescue kind of stuff. But yeah, not doing that much anymore.
Good. Yeah, well, you know, their times change, right? Now it sounds like
Yeah,
we're off to morning actions.
yeah, care fatigue is a real thing too. So
Oh,
that's
Mhm.
another thing. Hmm.
certainly, certainly. All right, well, let's see here. I think I have a couple more slides to go through here. Well, here's my question for you. How many of you guys want to reclaim your power but feel stuck because of limiting beliefs holding you back? If you are,
Yeah.
set up a call with me, see how I can help support your journey. Let's stay in touch. I think some of you guys are I think most of you, if not all of you, are in the Facebook group. So get in there with me. Let's stay in touch. I want to hear more about your morning routines. I want to hear more about your positive thoughts, Elba. Boss iPhone, you got good stuff. So I'd love to keep hearing your contribution in the group as well. Um, Trudy, you've been kind of quiet, but you know, I think sometimes you're on Facebook. If you are, join us. It's Chanel. I know. I was just going with your on there, you know? It's kind of fun to call you out as Boss iPhone. Isn't it fun? I think it's kind of fun. I'm not an iPhone gal, but you know, that's fine. I know I'm it's fun. Okay. Well, I appreciate you all from being here. Oh, so if you got value today, please drop value in the comments or say value. And just so thank you so much for being here. I'm so excited. We just got just a couple more minutes. So if you guys want to, you know, just chat, let me know what your thoughts are. If you want to let me know what you guys want to hear about next. I'm so happy to hear you guys getting value. Thank you. Good night, Chanel. Boss iPhone. So much value. Good. I'm so happy, Kirsty. I'm so excited to hear about things. I'm gonna send you some messages. I'm gonna post some things. Maybe I'll post it in the group too. I'll send you some directly and then I'll post them in the group because I know I'm not like I said, you're
Hmm.
not alone. I was doing that too. So I'll send you stuff. I'm normally up by when you are, so I'll send something.
Okay.
By then I'm already like a daily fire in usually or like moving on to some like pumping music. I love to do that too. Do you ever listen to music in the morning? I know you reggae music.
Oh, I love music, but I'm not in a place where I can, yeah, trim my ears set. If I do that in the morning and go walking, then yes, I'll be able to do that. So,
Oh, that's a good idea. Yeah. And it doesn't have to be super loud, but a little bit. Let's see, try the morning mantras. They work. Tony has some really good ones. If you don't know where to start, pep yourselves up, ladies. That's right. Woohoo! Charlotte, sorry I
yeah.
missed some of the last 15 minutes trying to get my kids into no worries, girl. We mama life. We know what that's like. At least I know I do. Mama life,
Yep.
pet life, responsibilities. I get it. No worries. I do want to get this replay done and sent out hopefully by tomorrow. So no worries, Charlotte. You can catch the replay. Comment hashtag replay. You get to be team live and replay. Woo, double dip.
Love it. Thank you so much, Tanya. I appreciate it. I love you. And
Yeah.
I'm so proud of you. And thank you for doing this.
Yes, of course. Thank you. I love you too. Thank you for being here. I hope you guys have a blessed rest of the evening. And if you need anything from me, I'm here, always willing and ready to chat or walk through some cycles. We could do some of this. When's the next class? Good question. I need to sign up. I think I'm going to start going live possibly every Wednesday, except for I do have a vacation in June. For sure in the Women Warriors group. I was thinking of doing it in the group, and Elba, I don't think you're on Facebook. So maybe I'll have to do them Zoom. Maybe we could do a Zoom live and just kind of try to make this like a occurring event. Love you too, Charlotte. You're the best as well. Thank you for being here. But if you guys have any topics that you want to cover or want to learn about, let me know. Because, I want to teach what you guys want, not just what I want to teach.
Well,
Sometimes I feel
thank
like
you so
talking.
much.
You're
I'm going
welcome.
to try these and then I'm going to look at your links and then I'm sure we'll have more topics as we go further.
Yeah, and if you have anything you want to focus on, send it my way, girl. You got me on Messenger. And
I do.
got my cell phone too, right? Maybe. I think I got your number.
I'll DM you.
Sounds great.
All right. So I'll watch for the next class. I'm going to sign off and go charge my phone because it's dying.
Woohoo!
But
Sounds
I love
great.
you. Have a great rest of the night.
Thank
Take
you,
care
you too.
now.
Bye
Thank you.
everyone.
Bye-bye.
Love you too, Elba. Love you, Kirsty. Love you, Charlotte. Love you all that's watching the replay.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Have to try to figure it out.
Right? No, don't worry. I'll end the meeting and I'll boot everyone out. Night.
All right.